There was a Hoboken Board of Education forum hosted by the Hoboken Quality of Life Coalition and the Church of Our Lady of Grace. There are 7 candidates in total, all vying for just 3 seats in November. Here are some of the issues and topics they were discussing. Moderated by Bob Bowden, each candidate appeared prepared for the topics that the Hoboken community asked, especially on budget cuts.
The one thing I'm going to do is take a look at our budget, line by line, to make sure that we are spending the money the right way.
So there were things cut from the children of Hoboken High School. But also, we had frivolous lawsuits. We're suing other schools instead of letting the state handle this. I mean, that money could have been saved and used on the students of Hoboken.
Yeah, I've been on the Finance Committee for the past 3 years, and I have looked at that budget inside and out. And you could argue for cutting the football program. You could argue for cutting the arts. You could argue for any number of things, all of which would take away from what I believe to be valuable experiences for our students. I think we have a mature district, we have an aging infrastructure that needs a lot of care, and we have a school population that needs a lot of special services. I would deny none of those kids anything that we have. I think the board has worked hard over the past few years to keep the budget as flat as possible and has raised the budget as minimally as possible.
First thing I would cut is the consultant fees. I don't like that consulting all the time. If you're educated enough to run for the board, let's utilize our own ideas and stop with the outsourcing. I will start using the educated professors and the qualified candidates right here in town.
While Addis Velez agreed with Sheila Dallara on reviewing the books, both Alana Kaufman and Brittany Montgomery agreed with John Madigan and Patricia Waiters on cutting the legal expenses. Bowden also asked the candidates' opinion on the 2 different stories about Hoboken High School.
For some reason, people panic when it comes to Hoboken High School. And I think they need leadership there. I don't think they have a person in charge that's really there for every student. They want to make it where everything sounds good and not do things. We have great sports programs. We got to do better on SATs. We got to promote that. Everyone panics and they want their child to go to a different high school.
Being on the board, it's inappropriate for me to talk about actual personnel, I believe, but I don't think that there is lack of leadership at the high school, and it certainly is not a violent place. I can attest to that, and my daughter can attest to that for 4 years. Day after day after day, she went off to school gladly and she came home happy.
From violence to low enrollment. I mean, we need to fix those 2 things to have any school at all. I mean, and then secondly, obviously, the standardized testing. That's a clear indication of how a school is performing. And then to have 70 children graduating, to me, that's unacceptable.
We need to look at the programs and the community. How can those be looked at and tweaked, and how can there be involvement? Because there's a reason why graduation is lower.
Miss Pia tell you I got an appointment tomorrow again with another mother and myself and a teacher. The Hoboken High School is horrible. Okay? And it needs some fixing up.
And I'm not going to lie, I was once one of those parents who read that article in Patch 2 or 3 years ago and said, oh, I'll never send my child there. But then once I stepped foot in that school and I met those students and I met the principal and I met with the parents who are here now that I'm friends with, I said, shame on me for thinking that.
I don't see that. I feel completely comfortable when I drop off my kids at the high school. I feel that they're safe. I have been caught at times, and I'm satisfied with the steps they take to contain and resolve issues.
A third interesting topic was on charter schools and whether or not they support it.
Especially Ola has represented a complete success, and I think that as opposed to, thinking that they take away from any of our budget, which by the way, it's only 10 million out of 70. Any success they have should be attempted to be emulated.
The town has changed, so has the populations of the charter schools changed. And I think that has led to some tension and some budget issues that we're very concerned about. I think the district schools, it's not only $8 million. I mean, it's $9 million this year. Nobody's anti-charter school on this board that I know of. All we are doing is trying to protect the interests of our children, our at-risk children, and protect and maintain their budget as best we can.
If the funding is a problem, the Hoboken Board of Education, which started a lawsuit against OLA, should go after the state, not after OLA. There's a problem, and if they're so not hypocritical against the charter schools, they should vote against sending the money to them. They could do that at the Board of Ed meeting.
I actually have an issue with the funding formula. I think that indirectly is pitting our kids against each other, so it's public against charter, and it shouldn't be like that. So definitely that's something that needs to be looked at.
Montgomery said that there should be a more open dialogue between the public and charter schools. Waiters refrained from answering the question, though mentioned that charter schools have been successful in other communities. Delara stated that while she supports all forms of education for children, she is against unfair budget. From Hoboken, I'm Jeanette Jozu, Hudson County View, the eye of the community.